President Trump upset with General Motors over its announcement that it's going to drop 14,000 jobs in North America and close 5 plants as well. Joining us now, Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. Congresswoman, I'm sure you don't like what General Motors is doing. You represent constituents in Detroit. But can you do anything about it?
Well, first of all, technically, the Canadian plant is closing. The other plants have no product in them and are going to be subject to union negotiations next year. And I suspect that there's going to be some tough negotiations, I could almost say game playing on the part of the autos, that their intent is to keep at least one of those plants still open with new product after the union negotiations. But we do need to do some things about it. And the fact of the matter is that we've got to make sure that we have good, strong federal policies that are supporting this industry and transitioning to a mobile industry, staying at the forefront of innovation and technology. But the way the president is doing trade policy is chaotic. But we do need a level playing field in the global world.
But you do agree with the president, who has criticized General Motors and almost threatened them. You're a Democrat. This must be one of the very strange circumstances where you are in agreement with President Trump.
First of all, he came to Michigan, and I warned people for a straight year he could win, and it's because he talked about trade. And Democrats didn't talk about trade 2 years ago, and we still have plants sitting there empty from a decade ago, shuttered because of bad trade policies. I wish the president would work with us in a more consistent fashion. You know, I was listening to your previous two guests, and they were talking about his chaotic policy, and part of the problem is you don't know what he says this morning if it's going to be the same thing this afternoon. Now, I understand that General Motors may be moving some production to Mexico, and I am not going to support NAFTA if that is the case, that we're looking at production moving to Mexico. So we need to have some very tough discussions. We still need to see the details of what is in NAFTA and how. I have a feeling the president and I can work together to make sure production's not going to Mexico.
So the bottom line, Congresswoman, is you got some leverage here.
Well, let's see what's going to happen. But I want to protect the working men and women of my district. Sure. I want a strong I want all the auto companies to be strong. And by the way, you know, I'm a car girl. I mean, it's in my blood, and I worked there for 3 decades. I know this industry. It's a cyclical industry. This industry has had the longest successful run it's ever had in its history. We used to think 14 or 15 million sales was a good number, and we're still at 17 million. But this is a cyclical industry. You're going to see a changing in the industry, and it's also changing as we go to new product, electric vehicles, low gas prices. People are buying trucks and SUVs.
Okay. Ms. Dingell, thank you very much for joining us today, Congresswoman. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
I'll see you again soon, for sure.